If you were part of Henry VIII's court here at Hampton Court Palace in the 16th century, this clock wouldn't have just been a thing of beauty, it would have told you everything you needed to know. The time, day and month for court business and pleasure, the times of the tides for travel to London, and the phases of the moon and position of the sun in the zodiac for predicting the future. I'm Susan Rowe. I'm a State Apartment Ward here at Hampton Court Palace, and since childhood I've been fascinated by all things to do with space, and that's why the clock is my favourite item at the Palace, and one which I think is often overlooked by the visitors. So come with me now and let's look at it from a different angle, one which you wouldn't normally see, from up on the roof. The clock comprises of 3 copper dials, each one rotating at a different speed relative to the other 2. In the centre, this dial rotates once per month and shows us the phase of the moon and the time of the moon's southing for calculating the tides. The central dial rotates once per year and shows us the age of the moon. The outer dial shows us the month, the day of the month and the position of the sun in the zodiac. In the centre you can see the Earth, and the sun rotates around us. So this is a pre-Copernican clock. This clock dates from around 1540 and is the work of 2 men, both named Nicholas. It was installed by Nicholas Urson, keeper of the King's clocks, and designed by Nicholas Kratzer, the deviser of the King's horologies. And at nearly 3 metres across, it would have been one of the biggest of this type in the world. The clock is so high up, so the King could get the best view of his clock from his apartments opposite. It's at the centre of the palace, so only the most important visitors would get to see it. So let's go now and have a look behind the dials. This clock tells a fascinating story of the Tudor view of the world, keen to understand it through science, yet still hanging on to beliefs about predicting the future. Kratzer would have forecast the weather and calculated the tides, but he would also have been responsible for forecasting the King's horoscope, something that was a potentially treasonable offence, spying by witchcraft. For the past 500 years this clock has overlooked all the transformations here at the palace and all the changing fortunes of its inhabitants. You can still see the clock here today as a visitor, and you can join me several times a year to learn more about this fascinating story.